The number one reason a woman loses respect for a man is not betrayal or failure, but the systematic failure of his boundaries. Respect is the objective measure of a man's self-possession, his willingness to defend his time, his space, and his core values. When a man constantly sacrifices his boundaries for the sake of peace or approval, he signals that his self-worth is negotiable. This is the kiss of death for respect. A man loses respect when he allows his rules to be broken without consequence. He says no but does yes. He promises to leave if a certain behavior happens, but he stays. This teaches the woman a powerful, simple lesson. His words are meaningless. She learns she can push him, test him, and walk over his demands because his comfort level is secondary to her immediate desire. This constant compromise is often done by the man out of a mistaken belief that he is being loving or supportive. He thinks giving in equals peace, but to her it signals fear. Fear of conflict and fear of losing her validation. This fear is instantly read as weakness. Women are programmed to seek safety and strength. A man who signals weakness by failing to defend his own ground is immediately seen as an unstable anchor. The man who sacrifices his integrity for the sake of relationship harmony is sacrificing the one thing that sustains attraction and respect. He teaches her how to treat him. And when he teaches her that his needs do not matter, she simply acts on that lesson. No boundaries means no respect. The second non-negotiable factor in losing respect is the death of purpose. A man's purpose, his mission, his drive, his goal outside of the relationship is the source of his external value and internal stability. When a man places the woman and the relationship above his purpose, he destroys the very attraction that drew her to him in the first place. This happens when a man makes the woman the center of his universe. He cancels important work for her demands. He drops his hobbies and goals to spend all his time with her. He is available 24/7. While this might feel flattering for a short time, it ultimately signals that the man has no higher value than the relationship itself. His life has become an empty vessel waiting to be filled by her. A man without purpose is a man without a future trajectory. He is static. Women are inherently drawn to forward momentum, the idea that the man is going somewhere and building something. When he stops building, his value stalls. She begins to see him not as a partner climbing with her, but as a passenger whose sole job is to support her emotional ride. This loss of purpose is deeply unattractive because it reverses the natural dynamic. The man is supposed to be the anchor and the source of forward drive. When he loses his drive, he forces her to become the leader and the sole source of ambition. This added pressure is not what she wants, and it quickly leads to contempt. We are analyzing the core psychological dynamics that sustain attraction beyond the honeymoon phase. If you are serious about maintaining your self-respect and the respect of your partner, then take a second right now to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Join the PsycheLens community for more intense, unfiltered truths about how power operates in relationships. A man loses respect when he fails to maintain emotional neutrality and instead reacts with needy or overly defensive behavior. Emotional neutrality is the sign of a man who is self-possessed and in control of his inner world. When a woman tries to test or provoke a man, which she will inevitably do to measure his strength, his reaction is the critical moment. If he reacts to her tests with anger, insecurity, or desperate attempts to apologize for things he didn't do, he immediately fails the test. This reaction signals that his internal emotional state is entirely dependent on her approval. He has given her the power to instantly crush his confidence. This vulnerability is not seen as intimate or sensitive. It is seen as low status and volatility. Neediness is the ultimate respect killer. This includes constantly seeking validation, asking for reassurance about the relationship, or getting jealous and defensive over small things. This behavior signals a man who cannot manage his own anxiety. He is forcing his partner to be his emotional regulator, which is an exhausting and deeply unattractive job. A high-status man, when tested, responds with calm authority or even playful indifference. He does not take her tests seriously because his self-worth is not on the table. He protects his emotional space. The man who gives his partner the power to derail his internal peace is giving her the blueprint to destroy her own respect for him. The final reason for the loss of respect is the failure to lead in the relationship and his own life. Leading does not mean controlling, but rather providing a framework of stability, decision, and direction. When a man consistently defers every decision, what do you want to do tonight? Where should we live? What should we do about this problem? He places the entire weight of the relationship onto her shoulders.
This creates decision fatigue for the woman.
She begins to resent the responsibility because she unconsciously signed up to follow a stable leader, not to constantly define the path for a follower. She wanted a partner who provided structure and confidence, but she ended up with a partner who demanded she be both the visionary and the implementer. The man loses respect when he becomes a reactive partner instead of a proactive force. He only addresses problems after they are brought to him. He only plans the next step when pushed. This lack of initiative signals low energy and a lack of foresight. Respect is sustained by the man's quiet confidence that he is steering the ship. When he hands over the helm and becomes passive, she quickly realizes she is sailing alone. She then either has to take control and develop contempt for his passivity, or she has to find a new leader. The man must always retain his frame, his internal reality, his purpose, and his direction, because when he loses the frame, she loses the respect.